On that note,
Ain't nobody at this table chasing no honey buns.
no, retired. We found our honey buns.
Jerseys hanging in the Raptors.
I found my bear claw. Yes, sir. MikiDZ podcast episode 82.
That's 82 for you non-speaking Spanish people.
That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. How we feeling, fellas?
Shoot. All is well over here. We had some good feedback on the Lazyboy episode.
Yeah, man. That was great. Shout out to Lazyboy, man. It was a great episode. Dope conversation.
Yeah, I think what really stuck the most was the clip of Mickey saying putting too much value in the booker's hands or in their powers, and Lazyboy just giving his unfiltered opinion on that and just being candid. And he said he got emotional, goosebumps, and I think all of us can relate to that. Like we do this because we love it,
yeah,
and it loves us back. So we're trying to make the most of it. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go back to episode 81. 100% worth the watch and even a rewatch because Lazyboy was giving out gems.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, make sure you watch it too because when he came on, when the first call, the fit that he had on was amazing. So if you can watch
Halloween for a second.
Yeah, if you can watch it on YouTube, man, please do.
When Lazyboy's given the opportunity to put up visuals,
right?
He comes.
He's going to capitalize.
He's going to make sure it counts.
And I want to give a shout out to Sean. He had quite the task in editing that video because there was like a couple different situations going on. This needed to be cut out and added. Like,
it was quite a task. Still doing this fucking podcast.
Yeah, it was a lot of editing, but it was a great episode though, for real.
Yeah.
And this week, now you got less time to work. We're actually recording
Friday.
2 days.
Today's Friday.
2 days later.
3 days before it airs.
Jeez.
2 days.
Oh, sorry about that.
Easy turnaround.
And we're recording late because and not that this is a bad thing, but Sean and Rel were in New York.
Yep.
It was Rel's birthday. Shout out to Rel.
Hey, man, I appreciate
birthday,
it.
Happy late birthday again.
Yeah,
I got my Rel,
it.
DJ Rel tee on, but it is too damn cold up here to just be sitting
I appreciate it. Mickey was wearing it on my birthday, so I appreciate you fellas, You always
saved it for a special day.
Supporting the cause and whatnot. So
International Rel Day.
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. We even though,
Birthday's played out, we're calling it International Rel Day.
I like that, actually.
We're going to take it. We're going to take it from
that's
Biggie.
really what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you choose to make of it a holiday if you want.
Yeah, I share it with Biggie's death, so.
Yeah. Let's talk about the DJcity merch first. This is a very exciting time for us as a pod, especially Mickey Ward, because he was the man, the brains behind this the merch and putting it together.
Yeah,
and
man.
this is a different rollout. So don't think there's going to be 100,000 of these printed out and you can get it whenever you want. This is a unique situation. Mickey will break it down for us.
Yeah, so I mean, first, can't call it merch. That was my first part of direction of it, of the program.
Strike one.
No. So we introduced the DJcity lifestyle program. Basically, DJcity. It's 21 years now. It's crazy to see because it feels like just like it was 2005.
Yeah.
We were helping move, DJcity into its new offices as they made the transition into digital. Shout out to everybody there. And, in those 21 years, I can only remember maybe 3 hoodies and like 2 to 3 shirts.
Yeah.
I still got my original hoodie.
Do you?
I don't know if that'll be worth. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
wear it because it's just an original. So
And that's like, and that's taken into consideration, even some of the like giveaway joints from like the retreats or the Beyond the Music, right? So like there just hasn't been a lot of stuff being offered there to represent. And they've made some good stuff, and I think it was just time where we're shifting the look, we're shifting the feel, and we wanted to make sure we created something where people can rep, but also not have it scream advertisement or
I'm a DJ
merchandise.
Maybe so.
So we wanted to do something very subtle and just comfortable, which was like the biggest thing. And sometimes, not overthinking it.
Yeah.
And just, really helping come up with a great product line and offering. So for those that picked up, which actually dropped today. So I'm still kind of back and forth dealing with some of the stuff that's going on today because some of the items are already sold out.
Nice.
And so we shout out to DJ Marvel, who actually came up with the graphic. for the tee and the singular colored hoodie.
And who also has a globalization mix around
who
the
has a
corner.
globalization mix around the corner.
Coming up
Shout out
next.
to DJ Marvel, DJ City family. And then, of course, shout out to Jerry Avila and DJ Sleek of, they're mostly known for their work at Sworn to Us, their clothing brand.
Comfortable shirts.
They also have a great agency in Premier Group LA.
Yeah.
They were instrumental part to getting all this together. They did the photo shoot. Shout out to DJ Rel, who's
Yeah,
our male model.
Come on, man. You'll see. Go on the site. You see my face.
The modeling gigs are real. He's a great face mask model as well.
Hey.
I mean, I don't mean that. But anyway, our approach was a little different this time. We decided also to do a pre-order. We, again, not having much reference to work off of. We wanted to see what the appetite was and essentially also give people the incentive of just making the purchase, right?
Yeah.
You make the purchase. You kind of don't want to have that possibility of walking into somebody with the same tee or whatever the case may be. So when you limit that, or you know things end, you create that little bit of FOMO of just fear of missing out in the purchase. So in that case, because some of the items are also limited in the manufacturing side, that already has generated some people, even before it went to the public, even staff missing out on certain items because they didn't act quick. So shout out to Joe.
Yep.
He was the first order in.
On it.
Were you?
Yeah.
What'd you order?
I don't know if I was the first, but
he.
no,
you were the first because I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, the t-shirt.
But he was the first one to get in there. You have a bigger discount if you purchase today, by the way. But
oh shit!
Fuck that up! Can I return it?
Give me my $3. Give me my $5.
He's gonna be the 100th order now. But but big shout out to Joe. He was quick to support, and then shout out to all the DJs. I see the orders are literally coming in, and we're already, I think, surpassed some of the sales goals that we saw.
Dope.
And something to note, I think Mickey said this off air. If you're expecting to get a free tee, sweater, or mask, just note that the owners
it ain't happening.
have made purchases as well. So not even them are putting themselves in a position to ask for a free shirt. Whatever.
No, keep in mind the budget on this was very light. So at least to get there. So then we created this business model so that we can help provide as many people the product, but also there's a cost to this.
This is the first rollout, so you got to expect that. They don't know what to expect. I will say what I will say is the quality of the clothes is dope.
Yeah,
comparing it to the past stuff that DJ City has put out, the quality is dope. Obviously, the look and the designs are amazing. Being that I was able to try on everything, like the hoodies, the t-shirts, the sweats, everything. I was like, hey, do I get a care package? So, I was already like,
which you will.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But take your time. I get it. Sell the numbers, sell the units. I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? So looking forward to what you guys got coming up next.
I was actually surprised you put sweats out. I wasn't expecting that. Obviously, the sweaters and the tees, but I was like, oh shit, sweats too.
Yeah,
that's
different.
Cool.
Well, that's the beauty of like the pre-order style, right? And keep in mind, like, pre-orders are very complicated. For those that don't understand the model, basically, I can say this for a fact. I had a pretty lucky, call it strike of lightning, when I designed some hats with New Era, and I had a very high demand hat or collection of hats, and we decided to do the pre-order model.
It's the one he's wearing right now, by the way.
Yeah,
the one that I'm not wearing because I don't have it yet.
Subtle plug. It's
Me
in
neither.
It's in the warehouse. but the point is, because of COVID and ports being shut down, it's created a lot of just places for things to get stuck. And so, long story short, on the back end, I can be transparent. I placed an order in, I believe, November or end of November, or I think it was December. And
for the pre-order,
pre-order. First pre-order order I placed was back in November, and they were like, "Oh, you'll get it in January, end of January." It's like, great, or beginning of February. Cool. Placed another order where we did do a large pre-order because I had just done that order blank. I just know I'm gonna need more, right? And then you're like, you know what? Let's just offer to anybody who wants to get it for 24 hours. It was 12 hours, I think.
Yeah,
and I've never sold that many hats in a month, let alone a single day.
This is after you had your original rollout when you first.
Yeah, so we did the original rollout, and then I did a re-up, just like I said, I'll just do a re-up, and this was a set amount, and then I was like, you know what? Let's just open it up, open up the floodgates, and let's see if we could sell those before they even arrive.
Yeah,
and then so we opened the pre-order, and we surpassed that in the first 2 minutes, like that first re-up.
Jeez.
And then after that, we just let it ride for another 10 hours or whatever, or 12 hours. And then we shut it down because I was like, I don't want this to turn into a bigger problem than the success it is. And so we placed that additional order, and that additional order arrived before the first order. And then now the first order is delayed 2.5 months and going.
Jeez.
And this other order showed up about a month after it was supposed to show up. So although I like giving people the opportunity to get what they want, because the hat game is crazy right now. It's literally the next
wave. The next wave, man.
Especially on the West Coast. It's been big on the East Coast for a little bit longer than out here, but it's like being big. Anyway, the reason I don't like the pre-order system, Travis Scott, same deal. He does a pre-order system, sells millions upon millions of merchandise. I think I placed an order for something back in March of last year or June of last year, and I just got it like last week. Wow. Like a hoodie, right? Like it was the final piece of the other part of my order. So that's why it gets complicated. And so when we did the DJcity thing, we wanted to have a model where we can offer as many products as possible, but we're not committed to making everything if it doesn't get ordered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like what does get ordered, we will produce.
Got you.
And on the sweat side, we just figured it's not a graphic. It's not something crazy yet. We'll get there once we build the brand. But we wanted to introduce kind of like a basics, essentials line, core line. And then that'll break down into either different colors, different palettes, depending on the season. And then also eventually go into long sleeves, short sleeves, whatever, into that part. But we wanted to also make sure that this product is available on hand to produce.
Yeah.
So that we're not having anybody wait longer than 3 to 4 weeks.
Got you.
Because that can be a headache.
And I will say it's cool to see it done like this. I think it's a lot cooler because it shows that you care what you're putting into it, like as opposed to a company, and I'm not just talking about DJ companies, but a company printing out hundreds and thousands of them. Like it's to me, if you print out only X amount, that shows that you care about what you're doing and you're creating a fuss that this is a big deal for you to have,
right? As
opposed to, we got more in the back, just order whenever. Right. I like that newer model, and people, I think the shirts or the product will last longer throughout time because of the emotional value you put into it, because of whatever fuss you want to create about it. It'll last longer than just buying a tee at Target or wherever you got your tee from.
Yeah, and let's be honest, like DJcity is amazing digital, amazing DJ, amazing, overall company.
Yeah.
But nobody in the staff or at the office is like supposed to or should have to focus on helping get apparel out to or merchandise out to X, Y, and Z, right? So the part of this process has also been to alleviate a lot of those headaches, like dealing with inventory, cleaning it up, and then like, if somebody needs to get a tee, here's a discount code, whatever, or here's the release. It just helps alleviate a lot of the stress because, it's already hard enough to do the kind of world-changing impact that they're doing in the digital side. And then, try to like figure out how to get people to represent the brand. Like, that's where the team and myself, come into play and just help kind of put that together.
Oh, some of you guys weren't around for it, but there was once upon a time, Styles Davis used to hang up tees around the MikiDZ show.
I remember that
in the background, trying to sell the tees, trying to get rid of them. Actually, he wasn't just trying to get rid of them.
Homies tees.
Yeah, it was homies tees, but he was just trying to get rid of them because at one point, DJcity used to sell random apparel.
Shout out to Styles Davis, man. He gave me my flowers the other day. I was like, okay, good. Like I earned that.
He's growing a heart a little bit.
And when Quickie and Styles get flowers, that they're paying attention and those are real flowers.
Yeah, no, they believed in us.
Yeah. So moving on, Rel, want to tell us about your New York trip? You and Sean?
Yeah, man, we just went out there for the birthday. We was just trying to do something different. Just wanted to get a change of scene. I don't want to say different. We always in New York, but just a change of scenery. New York is a little bit open, a little bit more open than we are at the moment, because they're allowing indoor dining. They allow bigger parties for dining in. So we said, what the hell? You know, we gathered some friends, the missus, and we went out to New York. We got to see some friends. We linked up, had some drinks, some food, and we just, went shopping. Everyone got tatted. Yep, and yeah, I mean, we went out there with 6 people. Everybody got tatted. So it was just dope, just to get out of the city. Everybody had a good time. I think everybody had a good time. I had a good time. That's all that matters. Yeah, exactly. I had a good fucking time. So,
you guys didn't go out at night?
I mean, there was nothing. They had a curfew. They had a curfew. 11 o'clock. Everything shut down. Like when I tell you, like Uber shut down. We got back because we got tattoos on Long Island. So when we got back to Manhattan, like what 11:30, 11:45. We couldn't even catch an Uber. Because they were like, Ubers are Ubers are not available at the time right now, so whatever. So we just smart. I mean, but it's smart for the cab drivers. I don't know if you guys realize like when Uber first hit the scene, it was huge in LA. Yeah. Yep. But they had problems in Vegas and New York because of their cabs. Right. The cab drivers wasn't having that shit. So it was cool. I think it's dope for cab drivers out there who probably took a hit when Ubers hit the scene, because they were allowed to still take. So, people were still getting out of work after 11. Yeah. People were probably still finishing up some of their indoor dining. You know what I mean? You can't, everything closes at 11. So it basically means that you can't go and get a table after 11 o'clock. I can still go get a table at 10:30, 10:45, and they could be serving me and we're still indoors enjoying it. And I get out of there by midnight. Yeah. Even subway trains, some subway trains were not running because of that shit. So we were like, let's jump in the cab. So we jumped in the cab. I'm out here cursing our cab driver out because he's on his fucking phone and just swerving all over the road and shit like that.
Give him one star.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, yo, my man, you want to pick your fucking head up out of that fucking phone and pay attention?
Oh, Ruffo, right back at home.
No,
right
back at home. I was like, come on, man. So, yeah, it was dope, man. We had a good time.
Hey, Poppy, what's the fucking road?
So people cursing at us because we're in the street. Get the fuck out of the street. So, I mean, it was good. We had fun. It was beautiful out there. We had...
It was like coming to America.
Right? Exactly. But, yeah, we had great weather. It was nicer out there than it was out here in LA because you guys had rain for a couple of days. But
and an earthquake.
Yeah. I saw that. It was small, like,
too.
It was like 2.6 or some shit like that. Yeah.
Not broke enough to feel that.
I know. Wifey was like, there was an earthquake. We need to make sure everything. I said, easy. I Googled it. I said, it's 2.6. They didn't even feel that shit.
The truck drove by.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what an 18-wheeler drove by.
A couple of big people fell on the floor at the same time.
You heard the humming of a plane flying by. That's what you felt.
I rolled out of bed. My bad.
Yeah, it was cool, man. How was you guys' weekend?
Sam just had a birthday.
Oh yeah, because her birthday's 2 days before mine.
Happy birthday! Yep.
She had a brunch bridal. What was it? Birthday?
Yeah.
BBBs?
Yeah.
Bad bitches only, huh?
Something like that.
Was you there?
I was not.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna be like, yo, why weren't we invited?
Come on, Joe. Don't sell yourself short.
No, different pod.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So she had bridesmaids and people involved with the wedding. She did that thing, and then I took her to the Italian restaurant. Well, we went for sushi. It was like an hour wait. Bless you. So we went to the Village out in Canoga. Yep. Mm-hmm. And we ended up at an Italian spot named Il Forne.
You went to an Italian spot, huh?
Yeah, and that was like because there was an hour wait for sushi. Then the other sushi spot was an hour. Mm-hmm. And Sam's like, I know you don't want to do Italian because you're Italian. And I'm like, look, man.
What's your birthday?
It's your birthday.
First of all, it's your birthday. I can order something else. Second, the only Italian restaurant I can give two shits about is Olive Garden. And that's like, they basically give you frozen Italian food that they just throw in a microwave. Like, it gets the job done. It's
microwave
good,
dinners.
Right? Like, it gets the job done, but it's not anything you're going to be like, look forward to unless you eat mayo every day. And that's what white people do. They eat mayo every day. So,
Word?
I mean, he's speaking from experience, I'm assuming.
I don't know.
so yeah. So I didn't order any pasta. I just had their fish.
How was the fish?
Really good. Really, really good. Really
Nice,
good.
nice.
Might have to make that my birthday destination.
Okay.
Oh, that good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a little
Mom's is not pulling up to that.
little more inexpensive compared to my usual Fleming's trip on my birthday. So
A little more expensive, you
a
said?
little less.
Oh, less expensive.
Yeah, because
Oh,
with Fleming's, I always they always send me a $50 gift card.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go to Costco, you get the $100 gift card, you save $20. So
think
Sam's
it's all
saving money left and right. But I think if the math is done correctly, I think if we just go to Il Forneo, wherever it's called,
For now.
it'll be cheaper for her. And it's still like the atmosphere is dope.
Cheaper for her because she taking care of the whole bill. We running it up. Hey, we need bottles.
Right, yeah.
Hey, I went to Fleming's like when I was like 20. I took Latanya. Bruh.
Is that when you got that big check?
Nah,
Oh, no,
fam.
you were single.
I was broke. I didn't know about this
Let me guess,
place.
that was like a $150 check?
Bruh, it was only appetizers because we was like, can't get that. No, nah, can't
That's
get
the
that.
worst, man. Going somewhere on a budget like
Didn't know
that.
no better, though. I didn't know.
No, I know.
I didn't know no better.
I mean, you gotta figure like these young kids that ain't got the bread these days probably try to hit that Nobu Malibu, right? Just
Because
to
they
like,
hear about it.
Why?
and
Don't
then,
do it.
And then order like Wagyu tacos and then just take a pic of the napkin and call it
You're
a day.
stupid.
But you got the look, you know?
Listen, shorty,
yeah.
only order from this side of the menu.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
even look at that side.
Oh, you didn't eat before? Because I just came to get appetizers.
Yeah,
Says
man.
MP on it?
Yeah.
Nigga, shit, if it say more than $20 on it, don't even look at it. Them motherfuckers
That's
should be
American
so broke.
currency, by the
Yo,
way.
right, exactly.
USD.
That's not pesos.
That's not dong. That's not Vietnamese currency.
Oh,
Is that comma supposed to be there?
Oh, man, it's a typo on the menu.
Um,
But yeah, that was it. We just had a good time with that.
nice. So,
awesome.
that was dope for her. You got to knock everything out at once. Birthday, bridal, bridal
She
shower,
had a
or
big
whatever.
weekend, and not to put too much of her business out there, but this is probably her best birthday because some personal doors have been opened up and unlocked, things that have been holding her back kind of her whole life. So recently some things have happened to where she can enjoy her birthday,
Nice.
which really is the biggest win of it all, as opposed to
That's because she didn't have no males there. She didn't have no
there
guys
is.
there.
So,
all right, well. Anyway, moving on.
So yeah.
I got my Peloton delivered on Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
You started setting
on your
records
birthday?
yet?
Huh?
You started setting records yet?
And I haven't even got on that thing.
I was like, did you open the box yet?
No, check it out. Oh, first of all, it doesn't come in a box.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I was about to
So
say,
I
what kind
felt
of
like I
box?
got robbed of the box. Like, you just kind of want to like unwrap shit. But it gets delivered, by two gentlemen. And they did deliver it, ask you where you want it set up. And then I just picked the spot.
They set it up for you and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then they just get you to the Wi-Fi screen. And then from the Wi-Fi screen, it's honestly like the really quick setup. And I plan on using it when I realize I needed, I don't need them, but it would make the experience a little better if I had biking shoes because you clip into them. They have the little pedals.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could like muscle through this, but let me just order some real quick on
Save your feet.
Amazon.
instead of like shelling out the $160 for a pair of cycling shoes on Peloton. So
That's how they get you.
ordered that, had to order the clips, and then that should arrive, I think, today or tomorrow. But
Yeah.
gonna jump on there. Saw a couple of the DJ homies on there, a couple other good friends. So I think I like, it's not about the, I don't know, the brand per se, but it's like I really like the network that they have.
Yeah.
Where you're able to ride with
It's
your
like a
friends
community.
and then like, somebody referred to it as a cult.
I mean, that too.
I'm like, good Lord. But it's just cool to be able to just jump on a live or pre-recorded ride with like a friend and kind of compete and
Nice.
whatever. So I'm excited for it. Looks good. Nice looking bike.
Dope.
Yep. That's fun.
And Sean, did you want to say anything about New York? You want to add anything to that?
No, real got it. I mean, this was my first time in Harlem. That was cool.
That was Harlem.
That was where all the black people are.
Ah,
Because every time we do Manhattan and Brooklyn,
Sure,
it's
Brooklyn,
quite
yeah.
gentrified everywhere else.
Yeah.
But Harlem,
I took him to 125th.
Yeah.
niggas,
It was real out
got
there.
off.
It was real out there. That's all
Is
I'm
there
saying.
like paintings of Big L all over the place?
I don't remember.
Nah.
I don't think I saw
It was funny because we went with one of our friends. She just started dating this one dude, Eric, and he came out with us.
learning experience.
And he, he's a photographer, and he's trying to get more onto. He's a videographer, but he's trying to get more in his photography. So he was just taking pictures. He had his camera running around and whatever, blah blah blah. And we just tell him, this is New York. You can't just be taking pictures of people like just random people or whatever. You got to ask them. So, and then we get to Harlem. Like, again, we in Manhattan, we're on the Lower East Side. We're close to Brooklyn. Again, like Sean said, it's gentrified. So people don't really trip if you ask them, or you know what I mean. You say, I'm just a photographer, just trying to take pictures. Oh yeah, no problem, whatever. Blah blah blah. They don't think anything of it. We go to Harlem, where the niggas is at, and as soon as we get off the subway, he sees this dude. And he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna ask this dude if I could take a picture from him." We were all like, "Don't do that." And he went over to this nigga Harrison. He's like, "Yo, you mind if I take a picture of you?" He was like, "Nah, nigga." Like, he was like, "Nah, bro." He was like, "Fuck out of here with that shit." And I was like, "Told you." Yeah, I told you. And we all laughed at him, and he was just kind of like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "I'm telling you, man, it's you can't just run up on people. That's you. They feel like you invading their privacy. Like, why the fuck you want to take a picture of me for? Like,
Right.
who are you? You the fucking feds, nigga? Like, you got something over on me?"
The ops.
You can't do that.
Yeah, but Harlem is dope, man. Like I said, it was beautiful. We had a good time. Sean said it was his first time. I think it was everybody besides my wife and I think it was everybody's first time in actually like Harlem and just showing them around. But I actually wanted to spend a little bit more time out there, but niggas was getting hangry, so we had to get up out of there.
Hangry is dangerous.
All right. Moving on. We told you we were going to talk about NFTs. We've been meaning to talk to you guys about this for a long time, and specifically in regards to the music industry, but we will tap into Beeple and Top Shot and all that. But to kick us off, Mickey, why don't you break down an NFT and how it is the same but not the same as a Bitcoin?
Look, everybody's just trying to evade taxes.
Yeah.
Let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. Because there's a lot of money getting thrown into this new asset, if you will. And I think that's where, between TikTok, social media, and every other way of discovering how to make money, right? Because that's like the thing. Everybody's trying to tell you what to invest in, what to, diversify your portfolio, like not have money in the bank. Which a lot of that stuff is obviously true and fundamental to like how to like generate or create some sort of generational wealth for yourself. But the NFT non-fungible token is essentially a new form of, you could call it art. It's
digital art.
But the thing is, like, there's just
it's so much
being
more
utilized in so many different
art,
ways. You know what I mean? Like the first version of it, if I'm not mistaken, was the banana that was at Art Basel with duct tape on a wall that sold for, I think, $250,000. I could be wrong here, but the banana obviously spoils. Like, it's a real banana. So like, you're not buying the banana and you're not buying the tape. You're buying the ability to display the art. So, and that was an NFT.
Yeah.
And so people didn't really understand that at the time, obviously. You know, it's ahead of its time. But I'm assuming that NFT, because being one of the first ones, and depending on the artist, because it also comes down to the credibility of the artist, right? Who makes the art and where the art's being sold. And so for me, I think I mentioned it last pod, but like I learned about NFTs in a deeper level in regards to the ability to be able to flip your money or turn, an asset into a more valuable asset.
It's like a stock
was
market.
It was like through NBA Top Shot. And essentially it was just digital highlights packaged as if they were trading cards, and you're just purchasing highlights, but you're not like, it's not that nobody can see the highlight. All these highlights are
free.
Free. You can see them anywhere. You can stream them anywhere. But to have an actual licensed percentage of ownership, that's like saying oh yeah, I see that apartment building all the time, but somebody owns that apartment building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and like sometimes it's not a singular person; it's like a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then so, what if you have the apartment building? You could rent it out, right? So like, there's income there. And so with an NFT, like you can purchase different things. I know we're gonna get into the different examples that have worked in the music side. But, you know, guys can, digital artists that, you know, Photoshop or, what is it, Final Cut, or like some of the different other video, like editing, animation things. Like you could create these products to sell. And depending on the demand, depending on who you are, depending on how it's presented, I think is where you're able to see, you know, true value and stuff that you might have not. I mean, how many times have you guys seen something where like, you're like, that ain't worth nothing to me, right?
Yeah.
But
Next thing you
it's
know, it's
sold
sold
for a ton, right?
6 figures easy.
Yeah.
Well, it's about creating a belief within something, that something is worth, whether, you know, even if you don't think that, if you get enough people to believe in something, it's going to be worth something.
Yeah, because my biggest thing on NFTs was just like, where is all this fucking money coming from? And, you know, when you really think about it, how many people have been into Bitcoin just in the last year, let alone in the last
6 months,
10 years, right?
Yeah.
And it's, but yeah, and 6 months and whatever, right? So like I was on the phone just before we started the pod, right? Kind of talking to my buddy Raymond Sarkis, who's been in Bitcoin since, I've been talking to him about it since 2016. And he was telling me a story about these sisters that were buying up a ton of Bitcoin when it was 56 cents.
Oh man.
And so they're a part of this, like, kind of, they're heavily into NFTs and trying to find ways to kind of present options and opportunities for like artists and athletes to generate their own NFTs. But the thing is, right now, a lot of these NFTs that are being sold aren't tangible. Like you can't hold what
them,
you buy,
because
right?
it's all digital, right?
Right. And so now what people are trying to present is, well, if I'm going to buy this, you know, $10,000 hat, like, why do I want to own the hat if I can't even touch the hat? I can't wear the hat. I can't do nothing with the hat, right? But what if we did create a limited run of 16 hats, and there's only going to be 16 ever created? I hit up New Era. I'm like, I need you to lock that colorway down. Nobody ever gets to make it ever again.
Yeah.
And then we sell it, and then we sell the 16, and you own 16 of those hats.
Yeah.
And they're NFTs.
Yeah.
But now you have something tangible along with it, right? So then some people might like that more because they can actually touch it. And then the other thing is, there's marketplaces and there's blockchains, right? So like NBA Top Shot has its own marketplace. So the marketplace is the only place where you can buy and sell the actual highlight that you own. And it's serialized and it's numbered and it's attached to your account. A blockchain is where all these transactions are happening. And so there's like primary blockchains, which is like the Ethereum blockchain. It's like one of the more popular ones. And then there's like alternate tokens, like Polkadot's really popular, Chainlink, Graph, like just throwing out some other ones out there. And all these blockchains they deal with their own currency, right? Within themselves. And so I actually have a buddy who's working on an app / place where it'll help connect all the blockchains together.
Yeah.
And so be able to have transactions happen through them. And so that's important, because when everybody owns all these assets, how are you going to be able to get it purchased outside of what the norm is, right? Or whatever it's set? So
and anybody can create their own token.
Yes.
Like Lil Yachty created one.
Yeah.
And what was it like? I don't know. It actually did surprisingly okay.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like if he created the token, let's say it cost him a tenth of a cent, right? And that token eventually one day becomes worth 1 cent. Well, he 10x'd whatever money he had from it. Right.
So within that blockchain, every time that thing said, well, let's talk about the Kings of Leon album. So the Kings of Leon have generated 1.45 to 2 million in their NFT album sales. Now, let's say they made 100 albums. Within that, so if you buy one album, you create a blockchain for that album. Okay. And every time that album resells, let's say you buy it off me for $100.
Now this is past albums that they've already released.
No,
out
this
to the
is
public.
new.
This is a new album that they put out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if they sell an album, if you buy an album, a Kings of Leon album off of me, they set it up to where they get royalties on that.
Okay.
So every time it sells, it works out for them because they get a check.
Yeah.
And I know there was concerns of like, well, what about their music being played on Spotify? That helps the album. Like if millions of people continue to listen to this specific album, it'll bring more value to the album. So when you want to resell it, you can sell it for more than what you bought it for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this. So the people who are jumping on this on the earlier stages and are buying it at a mass capacity, right? Are they going to be the ones that can kind of control the direction that this goes in? For example, you mentioned the sisters that got into Bitcoin on early when they were buying it for cents, right? And they brought it mass amount of it, a large amount of it, excuse me. Can they control how this moves, how NFTs moves, how Bitcoin is being moved in a sense? I guess I'm asking, for example, Elon Musk tweeted something about Bitcoin, right?
Yeah,
or
Dogecoin.
Excuse me. And
Or Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, whatever. And it went crazy.
Yeah.
Right? He got in on there early. He was like, he's obviously someone that, in the stock market or whatever, is looked up to. And he said something and the shit went crazy.
Yeah.
Are these people going to have that same control in a sense when it comes to that?
I think anything in these markets just come down to supply and demand at the end. It's like the simplest form is supply and demand. So like, for example, with Dogecoin, right? Elon tweets that, Doge or some sort of meme that reflects a dog that is a reference to Doge, right? Because it's spelled dog, E. Coin.
But we just pronounce it different way.
I don't know what the proper pronunciation is, but let's just call it Dogecoin. And essentially the people who own Dogecoin, right? They want to sell eventually for a profit. Well, there's people who are selling it, but then there's other people who are selling it for higher, right? That's what makes the market go high. If everybody who owned Bitcoin one day said, fuck this, I'm not selling, right? And everybody that has Bitcoin committed to that mentality, right? Then that would raise the value. But to get that many people in unison to get it, like people just want to take their profits. They think it's going to go down. That's why so many people are like on record. And this isn't me making up some shit, but literally people who are very bullish on, which means like confident, like bullish on Bitcoin and crypto in general, feel that Bitcoin is going to be at 100 to 250,000 by the end of this year, like in value. And we're seeing it obviously because it just kissed 60K the other day, and it's back down. But the trend seems to show. I mean, I'm pretty sure when we were talking about this last, like Bitcoin was still trying to break 40.
Yeah.
So like to get to 50, that's already an extra 22% gain since that conversation. Right. And so we're just going through an interesting time because when you think about it too, we just got the $1.9 trillion stimulus, package, right? Cleared.
Yeah.
Well, that means, and the way they're funding that money is they're printing more money. It's not like we just
have to sit in our safe back here. Yeah.
Right? No, they're printing it, meaning the dollar's value is going to go down. Meaning that any other form of currency is going to go up because now the dollar is more scarce, meaning the weaker dollar, you need more dollar to pay for the stronger currency. So that's where you're going to see the rise, of it. And like anything else, man, everything falls down. I mean, full transparency, like look at like Tesla, like it shot up to almost 900, kissed 900.
Yeah.
And then just went all the way down to 570 or 560, I think is where it got down to. But it's right back on its climb, breaking 700 as we're like talking probably.
Yeah.
So, and that's in the span of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So like,
okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's on the crypto side.
Keep breaking the music aspect because I got questions about that as well.
My favorite part about this whole blockchain thing is you eliminate the middleman. So you can, if you don't want to use a label, you can set up a blockchain. Now there are platforms you have to set this up on to create these blockchains. And I'll break down one's manifesto in a second. But yeah, you basically cut out the middleman and you tell Spotify. So when Spotify pays everybody, what they're really doing is saying, we're giving the label the money and you guys busted down publishers, writers, artists, like you guys figure it out. We don't know, or we just don't care to know, or we choose not to know, whatever. So if you eliminate the middleman and you tell Spotify, you send that money to this blockchain, okay? And within the blockchain, I can tell you who gets what, and it happens like that. You don't know what's going on within the labels. You don't know how they're breaking it down. You don't know what they're doing. It can get a little ugly and scary, but you eliminate that. Now you have it coming directly to you. A good example I saw was the Lemonade album by Beyonce. You have 70 writers and 100 contributors on that album, each getting a microscopic penny every time that song streams or sells or whatever, or is played. So good luck breaking that down. But if you set it up within a blockchain, and think of a blockchain like a train with the shipment compartments, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so every time that album sells and resells, you put a new block on, and everything is documented in regards to how much it's sold for. Mm-hmm. So if Andre Cox over here, aka Sean, if he puts out an album and sells for 100 to you, and I buy for 150, that's a new block on the chain. Yeah. And you can see that you bought the album first and I bought it second. Oh, okay. And you see the value of it. Now you can do shit. I don't know if it's shady, but if Andre wanted to buy his album because every time it sells, it can go up a little because there's value in it, he can continue to buy his album and just to pump up the numbers. But it would show him buying it. We can see that and we'll think this is some bullshit. I'm not investing my time and money into this. What Blau did, he gamified the situation by saying you have 3 minutes. I'm auctioning off this old album that did very well for me. I'm auctioning off, what was it, like 30 albums, 30 copies of that one album. Mm-hmm. You have 3 minutes to auction or to bid on it. Every time you put a bid in, it resets. The 3 minutes resets. So that's how he was able to drive his albums up to what it was, 11 million something generated. Crazy. So you can do stuff like within the blockchain, you as a seller, the owner, you can create it however you want. You can say, if I'm putting out 30 copies of this album, each person gets this gold-plated record along with the album, or gets a free T-shirt. Yeah. And you will be one of 30 people that has it. Now, each NFT is different. That's why it's not the same as Bitcoins. Each Bitcoin has the same value, but the NFT, 1 of 30 might be a little bit more than 2 of 30. So they differentiate in regards to their worth. That works same as like sports cards, right? Like if you have the first version, or even the 30 of 30, like, those things are considered 1 of 1s. Gotcha. Because it's the only one, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like it's not a replication 30, or 30 of 30, or in sports specifically, like if Tom Brady, right, has a rookie card and there you have 12 of 100, like that's considered a 1 of 1. Got you. Because it's a jersey number that matches up. So I'm assuming in music it would work kind of the same if you aligned it a certain way. Yeah, and there's also, you'd also have opportunities to see who's pushing your music within the blockchain. Like you can do anything, create anything within the blockchain, and it'll all be tabulated and kept track of. It all be documented. Mm-hmm. So you can reward your fans for trying to push your music and help you, whether it's monetary rewards or I don't know, T-shirts or whatever. But one of the platforms, this is a great manifesto. The bigger picture is getting everybody included, everybody involved, and creating transparency within the music community. Again, the labels, there's a lot of stuff happening that you can't see because they don't have to show you. Same thing with Spotify. They don't have to show you anything. So I'll quickly read the manifesto of this Zora platform, again, where you load up your NFTs, whether it's digital or whatever. The platform that holds our audience and content hostage, the labels that lock down our rights, the galleries that hold our art at ransom, the big brands that think exposure is cash. They have a monopoly on ownership, a monopoly on creativity, and they have been robbing us of the value we create for as long as as there has been a creative industry. The deals were cut out in advance, and we got cut out of. The big brands, suits, monopoly men own the revenue, the files, the rights, email addresses. What's left for the creator? What's left for the fan? We bring meaning. We bring value. We are what people believe in. What's Louis Vuitton without Virgil? What's UMG without Taylor Swift? NBA without LeBron? Adidas without Yeezy? What's Instagram without you? We bring the noise, and it's time to take it somewhere owned by all of us. The current system is fucked, and we want out. We see the value we create, and we want our piece, and not just a little bit.
That shit's wild, though. Like, you can't, I don't think you could say what's Louis Vuitton without Virgil, what's Taylor Swift without UMG. I understand that Virgil, first of all, is just a fraction of what Louis Vuitton's brand is. Taylor, I understand, could be a high generation, but she didn't own her shit until recently.
Yeah, and again,
but you get the message.
All, yeah, and that's all stuff.
But I argue with that message. I feel like that.
And I think that's all stuff that's just recent that they're saying. Like,
I gotta say that's stupid.
Well, what if their thing is it's not just Virgil? There's 100 creators within Louis. What's Louis without those guys?
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I don't agree with that message.
No, but I think the main thing is the power is in the creators.
That's what they're trying to say.
Exactly. That's it. That's
so let me finish up.
There's power in but there's no there's no power without the institute. Like, there's no platform without the institute.
One without the one with the
that's why they created this.
No, I understand that.
That's why it's about
but
to
they're
be
also
dead.
like Yeezy is fucking 5% of Adidas sales.
Yeah.
Like, Virgil's designs is literally 2 seasons worth. Like, I'm just saying that statement is crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the idea is crazy.
Right.
So let me finish this off by saying we want to build together. We must collaborate to make this happen. We need new infrastructure, something transparent, ownable, accessible, financially sustainable, where we can share the value we create, something for the community, something that's ours. It's not mine. It's not yours. It's definitely not theirs. It's ours. This is a collective creation. We have the tools. We have the moment, and we have the power. We can take our humanity's greatest endeavors. We could build cities. We can create so much more.
So when you purchase an NFT, you sort of say you own the licensing, you own, et cetera, et cetera. We're going it. So this could be beneficial to artists, producers. Like, for example, what you call it, sold his sample pack. Ill Mike sold his sample pack for how much was it? 6K? Mm-hmm. 6K. So let's say I purchased that sample pack, right? As a producer, as a DJ, whatever. I can take that sample pack and create my own shit with it, right? And push it out as my own. But now because I don't have to go through all these avenues to get these samples cleared already because I already purchased all the necessary licensing through purchasing this package to the NFT, right? Yeah. So that's how it could be extremely
And he
benefit.
probably didn't have to clear anything because it's all original sounds.
But that's what I'm saying. He sold his sounds as samples. Like, if I wanted to sample the shit that he had pushed out, I don't have to go through all these. You know what I'm saying?
Unless there's something within that blockchain that says every time you sell every time the song you create sells using my sample, I have to get 10%.
And that's understandable.
But that's not in his situation.
Well, but I'm saying that's understandable if you're signing that contract, whatever. You're being like, every time you sell something using one of my samples, I get a small percentage of it.
Well, every NFT, I believe, has a full understanding and explanation of what you're purchasing. Like, some NFTs make it very clear that you don't own the copyrights to the product. Like, it doesn't mean that you know what I mean, that you can reuse or resell. I mean, you could resell the license, but you can't resell the product, like in a large quantity, right? Without like, it's not, you can't separate your NFT into 100.
Got you.
Right? Like, but you can sell the singular license that you own. In the case of Illmind, I believe it is a 1-of-1, and so he sold that one pack. But you know, at the end of the day, like, how many samples did it have?
10 melodies and probably some kicks and snares.
Yeah, like it was a small pack. It was a small pack that he sold.
Yeah, so like
he probably has a plethora of that.
So the way I would break that down is like, all right, cool. If I own the rights to this shit, fine. I'm gonna sell each melody for $1,000. I just made 4 Gs.
Yeah. So now, how does something like that attract a consumer who is not a producer, who's not in the industry? Like I'm someone that
honestly, most of this stuff is just saying because I want to own an asset and just because I want to flex, just because I can.
Just because you can.
And
you can always, and you like you said, you can always
having something nobody else has means a lot to everybody in 2021.
And it's almost like collectible items in the sense, like digital collectible items.
And just to say you have it.
And to say you have it. And like any piece of art hanging up on your wall.
Yeah.
And then eventually down the line, you can just resell it for a profit.
And along with this, I don't remember seeing it, but if he wanted to say you get this 10 melody royalty free pack and this physical record saying you own it, now you put it up on your wall in your trophy room or wherever you flex to your friends, where you have the pool table or whatever. Like that's you can take a picture.
Look at all
it.
my NFTs, my digital shit hanging up here.
Yeah,
you're gonna set up little iPads to show
exactly.
Play all your shit.
And make no mistake, not everyone can do this. Like we couldn't do this. Like you have to have a name.
You have to have a name. It doesn't make sense for people like us to me. Yeah. I mean,
and that's the thing with like
fuck it, let's sell the first 50 podcast episodes to somebody.
Shit, we could.
Mm-hmm. Could. But that's why I hit up Phenom about this weeks ago. I said, you ever thought about creating some form of an NFT in regards to DJcity? And he said they've thrown the idea around, but I think what Mickey's doing on the lifestyle and clothing side of things can help build to that.
Yeah.
Because now you're creating some sort of worth. And then sooner or later, DJcity's not going to be around because of BeatSource. Along with other record pools. So now you can have a chance to own a piece of history in the DJcity.
That's true.
You know?
That's great. I think it's a great avenue for artists. You just in general, anybody, but because like you said, you're cutting out the record label. You don't know what they're going to, you don't know what the in between the lines are. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what their cuts are, how they're taking shit away from it. And now you cut that middleman out, and now the artists get paid directly, and they get to set what they feel is the correct price for their own, property, their assets or whatnot. Shit. I mean, I'm curious to see where it goes. I mean, they've been saying that this is like the future right now.
Yeah, my question is, I have a few more things to say about this. One more thing in regards to artists performing.
Mm-hmm.
We're nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we make music. Let's say we go and do the bar down the street, and we play, and I play all Dainjazone music, and you play all Rel music.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The bar, in order to exist, has to have a blanket license that clears them to play whatever they want. Right. Now the blanket, I don't know how much it runs. Let's say it's $100 a month.
Expensive blanket.
Not even a heated blanket.
Nah, you or weighted one.
Y'all got a
heated
blanket.
Not even a weighted. So let's say they pay $100 to whatever BMI ASCAP.
Mm-hmm.
Those companies bust it down again to to anybody, right? But instead of them breaking it down to anybody, if we create this blockchain that every time we talk to the bar, every time we play here, I give you my list and you pay directly my blockchain. So I get the money directly, as opposed to letting BMI ASCAP figure out who gets it. Now, that could be good or bad. Let's say our friend Andre Cox over here has music out in the radio world internationally. What I've learned is a company like Sound Exchange, which gets the artists, like if you play your music on Sirius XM, they collect all the songs and then they pay out who should get what. Radio stations, like Power 106, everything kind of goes through them, and then they guesstimate if Andre Cox is being played on Power 106, they guesstimate that these bars are playing Andre Cox's songs as well. Mm-hmm. If Power 106 is playing it, these bars in LA gotta be playing it as well. So Andre sees money, even though his songs wasn't played. He sees money for that. Now, this could be a real lucrative situation for Andre, because if you get a lot of radio stations to play your music around the world, you'll get money for doing nothing. If you create the blockchain, though,
you have to yourself go there to every.
Well, not necessarily you, but they can't guesstimate anymore. If everyone's on a blockchain, they can't guesstimate. It's known that we're not playing Andre, we're playing Drake, or we're not playing Drake, we're playing Andre. Now it's all documented and put within the blockchain. So again, it could be good and it could be bad. I know artists that don't do shows and they just make money because of what's being played on the radio around the world. So it could be a good or bad thing. What'd you say before I got into that? I said there was something else too.
No, yeah, I was just asking the how it's good for artists and how it just eliminates the middleman and shit like that.
Gotcha. So again, producers like us too, which is like I feel like everybody I follow on Instagram and Twitter, this could work out for you, and you can just tell them you're playing all your music to get your performance rights. So
I think it just allows you to also like own your music a little differently, right?
Yeah.
Like, new artists, like in many ways, this is gonna be a funny reference, but it's like how OnlyFans came to fruition for porn stars. So like the OnlyFans, the paywall, the platform, besides it being a good place to get DJ Dainjazone exclusives.
Facts.
Fitting. It allowed a porn star, through our friend. Shout out to Roy. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah. Shout out to Roy.
Shout out to Roy.
I've actually seen him a little while ago, but
he was in the adult industry, behind the scenes. The scene's not the girl. But anyway. But on average, a talent was getting paid somewhere along the lines of like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 if they're top tiered, I think. I could be wrong, but like 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000 scene. And
a sex.
Yes.
A sex.
Yes. See. And royalties. So that's what they were getting paid, right? But then now these girls have the option to, like, let's just take Alana Rhodes, right? Who's like, quote unquote, the top talent in that space. She's voted number one.
Should do that.
She's voted number one across a lot of the things. And like, she stopped doing scenes because I'm assuming because her boyfriend too, but like, what's the point of going to film these scenes and getting, intimate or not intimate with somebody, and you get, let's call it $5,000 at her level. And then she has, call it 5,000 OnlyFans fans, and they're all paying $1 to $5 a month just to follow her. And then they're paying $1 or $5 just to message her for every message they send. And then she puts up a picture and she sells it for $3 to $5 per picture, and she sells that 1,000 times. Like,
hand over fist.
Like, why? What's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's an easy call.
Ever showing up again to a set. Like,
you said it. She doesn't even do porn anymore.
She doesn't do it.
YouTube.
What did Mia Khalifa do? Didn't she stop doing porn for something else? That was more lucrative, right?
She went to school.
I thought she got involved in some other business.
I think at one point she was pushing crypto and like some stuff like that. Which seems fitting.
Sports commentating as well.
Sports commentating, that didn't last long.
Yeah.
But she got in that space, and like, I think what it is like really is, it just comes back down to the same little damn saying, your network is your net worth. And once you build the audience, like, you can move that audience wherever you want and adjust, the business model of how you make your money. So, in the case of them, OnlyFans really created a way where, like, these girls don't have to get paid. Like, one scene could pay them forever versus, having to do one scene for somebody else. And they ain't got to do much. Like, you ain't got to get a whole fancy camera. Like,
use your phone.
Use your phone.
Fucking iPhone.
Like, motherfucker, like, based on some research I've done for a company that I'm working on.
Like how you covered that up.
Hey, real quick. But based on the research I've done for what performs well in that space, guys prefer that they feel like they're getting a video straight from the content creator versus like a professionally shot video.
Yeah.
You know, and I was talking to.
But you've been saying that for a long time because that's what's worked out best for Mag Park.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As of taking pictures of the shoes with a professional as opposed to regular. The regular is just
people want it to feel like it's tangible.
Yeah.
It goes back to that. And I think, and I was talking to somebody that we know that's on OnlyFans, and like she told me she makes way more money from messaging than she does from anything else.
Jesus.
Just to talk to
dudes
her.
just want to talk.
Niggas is lonely.
Weird.
Niggas is lonely.
They just want to talk.
Oh, the OnlyFans platform for the porn stars is their Spotify.
No, I think. Oh yeah.
Nah, that's
no.
Because
I think they're the empire.
Well,
Like
the point I'm trying to make is Spotify plays your music.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to use Spotify anymore, and you get paid direct. And then the streams, it's like a microscopic of a cent. Instead of having Spotify pay you, you put your content on OnlyFans and it pays you hand over fist.
I feel like OnlyFans is more of a partnership, though. You know, whereas with
That's
Spotify,
what I'm saying. I think they're like an empire,
exactly,
right? Like Empire, from what I understand, you can own your masters, and they're just
the label Empire.
The
label,
yeah. They just facilitate the distribution,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But they're not like taking a big chunk of your bread, right? Which is what
it's
they're
a
known
small
for.
percentage or something like
So
that.
I think they're literally OnlyFans has helped get rid of that, you know, those big time production companies because they would front you'd have to pay probably $5,000 to go get an Airbnb and get licensed to film. You'd have to go pay the 2 talents or 3 talent, whatever you're filming. And then you got to get your.
Makes you sound like he done this before.
There's a massage oil.
No, you got to think about it. Like, but like when you really think about it, like,
you know,
your fluffer, your boom guy, your professional camera guy,
your DP,
the photographer, like, you know what I mean? Like that sounds like an expensive shoot to get one
hair and
scene,
makeup.
It is
to have it downloaded off some like, you know, random offsite. So like, and I get paid for it. So like, it makes sense where like this has created a problem for those other companies.
So my last question about this, and then we'll get the hell out of here, is how can record labels stop this or get involved? The idea I had for them getting involved is flipping old shit. We're re-releasing
shit that they already have.
Nas's first album, Illmatic. Only 30 copies are being created in NFT form. Man, you don't make millions off that shit. But are there any other, like, they can't stop this because artists are going to just.
Yeah, I don't see them stopping.
I think artists will use labels for the loan because that's really what it is. It's a loan that you're getting from the label to do what they have faith in you doing. I think some artists will do that for an album or two. And then, all right, I got my fan base partly because of you guys. Now I'm going to go do my own thing. So I don't know how record labels are going to be able to stop this.
Can Nas do something like this? All right, I'm going to take Illmatic and I'm going to add 3 bonus tracks on it and sell it as my own, you know.
A deluxe?
Yeah, like a deluxe Illmatic and then, you know, and release it as an NFT.
He'd have to, whoever else is in ownership of Illmatic.
So that's what I'm saying. There was no,
but that's why he said the labels.
The labels will be able to like, but that's what I'm
whatever
saying.
Label owns a piece of that.
He would still have to pay them that percentage.
Well, they'd all have to get involved in.
Got you.
Yeah, Tory Lanez did an NFT.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, it says March 5th. Initial gross was 400,000. 300 of his fans copped it, and then it came with
300,000 or 300.
300.
So it's like 1,250 per.
He dropped it with 3 songs. They get to do a virtual meet and greet. He's gonna airdrop you unreleased songs, and he's gonna sign merchandise for you.
So yeah, I think because it's such a new platform that creatives are going to get extremely creative with this on how they release and put shit out.
It's endless possibilities.
Yeah, it's going to be insane.
If you think about it, it's kind of what Nipsey did, really, without the technology.
With the $100
exactly. It's just without the technology.
Yeah,
100%.
Nipsey would have probably been crazy with this.
Jay-Z would have been, because he bought 100 of them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z be a lot richer. More richer than he is before.
Is that possible?
All right. So
20 years from now, Blue pops up with 100 Nipsey albums on
Man,
sale.
Listen. Do you think cats of a Jay-Z caliber are going to utilize this platform?
Absolutely, yes. The next thing, it's inclusive.
They're going to do it at a grander scale. They probably just want to make it right.
Yeah.
You can either be the first to market, which is usually the benefit, or you could be the one that kind of like, just like professionalizes it, if you will.
Yes.
Polishes it.
Like Mickey said, it's not who did it first, it's who did it better.
Facts.
But in this case, if you bought the first Ill Mind sample pack, it might be worth just as much, if not more than what.
I'm saying,
that's the first to market. There's
the
two sides of it, right?
Yeah.
That you get paid the most.
This is when being first is okay, but if you want to say you're the first to some other shit, you're doing it just say you're the first. At that point, it's about who did it right.
Yeah,
that's what we talk about.
I mean, think about it. Jay just launched a cannabis company not that long ago. But he's late if you considering
sure.
all the different cannabis companies that exist, right? But also, if you look at how he's presenting his shit, it's different.
Levels to this shit.
It's literally the ace of spades of fucking weed.
Right.
For all the wedding thing, like the gifts that we give out to our guests, whatever they take home, can I create NFTs of those? Because there's only gonna be 100.
You can sell them?
I'm gifting them, and then you guys can, and then maybe I put myself to get like 10% royalties on the flip.
Nah.
No, I can't get a cut of my own shit.
Nah, nigga.
I'm giving it to
you.
you.
You gonna give it to me?
Because now he wants us to do the work.
Yeah, exactly. That's some slave shit.
Hold on. Just own it, and if people see value in it, and then you can make a profit. We make a profit.
We make a profit.
Why can't we? You want to get money without me? You want to get money without me, Sean?
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, hey.
You would get 90%. I'd only get 10%.
I see what you're trying to do. I get what you're trying to do.
How about
you thinking like, yo, I'm presenting you. I'm presenting you with an opportunity because I presented you with this opportunity, and you go out and make a profit from it. I want a percentage.
Nobody asked for party favors as an NFT. Nobody asked for them to be gifted, but you're getting it. Usually, you throw party favors in the trash or you eat them or whatever they do.
I'll see where you encrypt them.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I encrypt them at the right space on the right platform, and they start, and then we name the price to start. Can we start the bidding off at 0.1 cents?
Yeah.
And then over time, let's say I do something to become a millionaire, and all of a sudden I'm all over the news. Now my wedding party favors jump up to $10, and it'll continue to build and grow. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about me. I'm putting money in your pocket.
You are.
You don't like the idea that I'm involving myself.
Exactly, because then it's not a gift. If it's a gift, you be like, listen, I just want to see my friends.
You 90% of a profit.
I just want to see my friends succeed. You know what I'm saying? Here's a gift. I don't want that. It's like it's between gifting money and loaning money, right? Here's me gifting you money. I don't expect anything back.
You know what you sound like? You sound like you don't want to get money with me.
No, I absolutely do want to get money with you.
You sound like you want to get rich without me.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you gifting it, if that's what has been communicated prior, yo, I got this idea. Okay, sit down with me. As opposed to being like, yo, here's a gift, but if it blows up, I need a percentage of it. Then nigga. What?
Sounds like
I see both sides.
Right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I see both
as opposed
sides.
to being like, yo,
That's
here's a
what
gift.
2%.
Here's a gift.
2%.
I appreciate you showing up to my wedding. Here's a gift. I don't expect nothing from
you.
you.
You could just be like, all right, I would just give that gift to somebody else.
I mean, you could. He could. But you know what?
And then you beat out 90% of $1 million.
You showed up to my wedding. Here's a gift. I don't expect anything back.
How long we gotta wait?
Right. I get what you're saying, but
I don't even know if it'll scale.
It's all about perspective. It's all about perspective.
I need my ROI in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? 18 months.
So you would feel some type of way if because I need 10% royalties on that gift.
I wouldn't personally feel no type of way. No, it's extremely understandable. Because you'd be walking
away with 900,000.
It's extremely understandable, 100%. Okay. I'm not going to turn nothing down but my collar.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is perspective. It could be looked at like he kind of did.
Fuck while they're looking at it.
Yeah, I mean he could be like, oh, I'm gonna again. Listen, it's almost you don't watch Snowfall. Oh, you do watch Snowfall, but it's almost like spoiler alert if you guys are watching Snowfall or have never seen it or whatever. It's almost like how Franklin goes, listen, I don't want to nickel and dime anymore. Yeah. I want to be what you call it. So I'm gonna get all these worker ants. I'm gonna get these worker ants.
Keys on.
Here you
Compton.
go. Here you go. Here you go. Here's the pack. Go out there and flip it on your own.
I got a better idea.
You get a percentage of it. So it's almost like that. It's almost like that. Like Sean said, colonizer. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Stop
what
the
I mean.
black man from
Joe,
talking.
Joe, I got a better idea.
All right,
Good.
Okay, instead of a physical placement of a thing. Oh, I'm getting phone calls on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let's see. Cool. Let's make a digital arrangement.
Oh, like the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just put a QR code.
Okay.
And then you can scan it to see the arrangement.
That's fire.
That'd be
Now you only
crazy,
make
bro.
one arrangement
Mm-hmm.
Per table.
digitally. It just won't look good in person
But for the
No.
people
in the wedding.
like my fiance who could give a shit about an NFT, she's gonna want the physical arrangement right there.
Right. I
So
know.
make two.
But what if you put the QR code on? Because let's say there's 10 arrangements. 10. I'm just throwing
Everybody
out 10.
gets to take home an arrangement.
That's what I'm saying.
So you
Everyone gets
Oprah
to
now.
take
That always
something
happens.
home. And
That's
and,
good. See?
but what happens? Things
Now give me my
die,
10%.
or you
Die.
eat them,
They
or
die,
you just
right.
throw them away.
Listen, I get 10%
You're gonna
of
hold
yours
on to this
for
because there's potential that this will be worth something.
Yeah, I understand it. It's just like anyone takes their arrangement home. Like you say, yo, take
And
the arrangement. I don't want it. I'm just gonna throw it away anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it. If I go and repot it and it turns into this magnificent thing that I get to sell, you want a percentage of it because you gave it to me? You was gonna throw it away anyways.
Oh, hey.
Nah, see, hold on. Here, I think the problem is it's a physical thing that you got to hold on to and like hope that it turns into value, right? That's
Yeah.
part of the process too.
Yeah.
I think if you create arrangements and on the arrangement there's a QR code somewhere engraved in the
Yes.
arrangement,
Mhm.
that QR code can be scanned to claim your free arrangement that sits on whatever blockchain. And then everybody who attended the wedding is allowed to capture that arrangement.
Yeah.
Then that arrangement just lives. If they set up their account, they have possession of the arrangement.
Mhm.
From there, those arrangements can be sold, held onto, whatever, just in the cloud.
Let's look at my wedding like an album release. Okay, I'm not gonna give
Yo,
you an album,
I
right?
understand that,
I'm gonna-
Joe.
No, but I know you understand. But I don't like the perspective that you're entertaining.
But
I
I'm
don't
saying,
like this perspective.
I'm
You
giving
can
you.
set it up. You
I'm
can set
giving
it
you-
up on the blockchain that when they sell it,
Yes,
yeah, and then they don't have to pay for it.
right.
Right.
And then I get a little something back as well, just like Kings
Yeah.
and Leon. Every time they sell an album, they get a cut.
And I
And
get
the
a
more-
commission for coming up with the idea. So
And Mickey gets in because he's the best man, and he's a part of this idea.
Again,
And you know what? You're not going to get anything the more you keep fighting me. I'm cutting you out.
hey, there's
Joe gets nothing.
There's no QR code on this arrangement.
Yeah.
Wait, our table. Listen, all you motherfuckers is gonna be at my table. So
Ain't gonna be
y'all
no,
motherfuckers-
there ain't gonna be no physical arrangement at the table. Ain't gonna be-
I get what you're saying. Again, I understand what you're saying, and it's a great idea. I understand that, and all I'm saying is I'm painting a perspective that people will read.
Got it.
Be like, yo, that's kind of fucked up.
Require them to show their NFT that they claimed at the open bar to get open bar.
So now we paying for open bar.
No, you just gotta sign up.
Oh, okay.
We're collecting the data. Data's the new currency.
One more thing that just popped in my head about the whole album sales. I think it was Kings of Leon that said, we're going to have, until this day, we'll have albums available. And I want to say it's albums, but whatever doesn't get sold, they destroy. So it's not like
Just threw it in the little trash.
Yeah,
It's
you
getting
throw it
thrown
in the
away
digital
anyway.
Trash.
Yeah.
So now it makes your album that you purchased worth more because now it's not just hundreds
not
of
as
thousands
many.
of them.
Just sitting in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no real inventory.
Like
of it.
imagine if DJ, not that you would, but imagine if you printed up 200 DJ City shirts
And only sold 100.
150 were bought, we're burning the other 50.
Yeah.
Because now it's worth more.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
All right,
listen.
real quick, the Weeknd boycotting the Grammys. I'm assuming this has something to do with the Super Bowl because he did this. He claimed that because he did the Super Bowl, he was taken out of the Grammys, and the Grammys put him in position to say either pick us or the Super Bowl. I don't know how that all connects. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Isn't he nominated for a bunch of Grammys?
He's not nominated for shit.
I thought he was.
No,
Oh,
he took himself out.
Well, I'm saying prior to him taking himself out, he was.
No, to my understanding, when he was announced that he was doing the Super Bowl, he was talking about this Grammy shit many months ago.
Yeah.
And around that time, he said, no one confirmed on the end of the Grammys, but he said, because I'm taking the Super Bowl, the Grammys have taken me out of the race.
That's fucking stupid.
So there might be, sounds like there's way more to it. But,
yeah.
But,
well, good for the Weeknd, man.
It's because he didn't get any nominations.
Because of doing the Super Bowl.
Oh, well, that's
the math I'm adding up.
I see.
What I'm saying is,
this was discovered many months ago.
Right.
The Grammy said, hey, it's either them or us, which, again, I don't know how that connects.
Who decides who gets nominated for the Grammys?
It's
white people.
It's a community,
It's
correct?
a community. It's a random.
And
I think Anthony Polis is.
And they're basing it off of album sales.
A lot of things.
Multiple things going down there, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
And this was his biggest selling album, biggest single of the year.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Why not treat this shit like the fucking All-Star game? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you vote like the consumers or whatever.
MTV's for.
But you're constantly going to get this feedback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get this backlash. The Grammys are going to constantly get these backlashes because there's not a year that has gone by where people will be like, we felt this person should have at least been nominated, if not have
Kendrick
won.
Lamar,
whatever. You know what I mean? Multiple people have not won Grammys or been nominated for Grammys based off of whatever, because these group of execs sitting in a room decided we don't want this person to be nominated or whatever the case is. So it's just like, yo, just let the people do this shit. And I think you would see more success that way, in a sense, than you trying to dictate how shit is supposed to move.
Things are changing, man. They're going to change. People want more inclusion, whether it's being voted on or whether it's an NFT or people want to be involved. There's stock markets, right? Like Retail Joe, wants to be a part of what the suits are getting. So in the bigger picture, things are changing. And
absolutely. And
I was saying, like I was telling you guys off air, why do we care? Well, we're conditioned to care about the Grammys because our whole lives, it was all about getting a Grammy. Mm-hmm. You know, it was all about your favorite artist winning a Grammy. And I know it means more to them because it brings more work to the table. Like, if it doesn't mean shit to us because we're not getting work from the Grammys. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if I get writing credit on a song that wins a Grammy, the people are knocking on my door. Mm-hmm. You know? So, yeah.
Well, good for the Weeknd, man. Take matters into your own hands.
And you know what? He's not losing anything. He's broken all the records he needs to break. Yeah. He's, no pun, he's done everything he needs to do. At this point, it's just about staying on top, and he doesn't need a Grammy situation to keep him up there.
I hope Freddie Gibbs wins one, though. I will say that. I hope Freddie Gibbs wins a Grammy.
Yeah, for hip hop, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
Just have him do a digital performance and raise money there.
They say I agree. No Zoom on this shit. Not this Grammys, yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have people there?
That's in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's the day this weekend?
This weekend, right?
This Sunday. Well, after this.
He should just do a performance the night of the Grammys.
Talk to him.
Good. This would have been my slot, so I guess I'll perform at this time. 8:05.
What was that one performance he did on top of the building?
I don't remember.
That was MTV. That's another thing. Every big award show or MTV? Everything, I think it was MTV or Billboard. It was Billboard. Billboard, Super Bowl, and I keep track of this not because I'm a fan, but because of the globalization charts. Every time this dude does a performance, he goes back into the A slot of songs that should be played. And then like Blinding Lights, it trickles down the B and C, and then he does Billboard, boom, back up to A. Super Bowl, boom, back up to A. So like this dude, anytime he gets on a big screen, like his numbers got to shoot up.
What was the statistic? He's like the first person ever to be in the top 10 for
52 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Blinding Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is smart. A good song.
Good for the Weeknd.
All right, and moving on.
Who we got this week on Globalization Mix?
We got DJ JD.
JD.
Yeah. We had Boston, Connecticut. We had Sammy Needles last week.
Yeah.
The all Biggie set. Yep.
Dope Biggie set. That set got a lot of love. So
do this thing.
Even A-Track reposted it.
Nice.
Wow.
He reposted my tweet on that. And I hit up Jason Craig because he does the flyers. I said, look at A-Track reposting your artwork.
He was hyped about that shit.
Yeah, so we got JD. one thing I wanted to say about JD is before, probably around the time we were doing MikiDZ's show in the early stages, him and Jay Spring kind of had their own pod. So this is like late 2000s.
I remember that.
And they would just talk about the industry and what goes on. They even had Dave Fogg on as a guest because he was the buyer for the Palms. Right. So they, before any of us were doing this pod shit,
they were ahead of the curve.
They were ahead and talking about what's going on in the industry and all that. So yeah, shout out to those two for doing that. But yeah, we have JD, Big Night Entertainment, dropping a mix for us. So Tuesday nights, Globalization, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, sir.
And that wraps it up for us. Get yourself an NFT.
Yes,
Mickey
sir.
just found one, bought one for $1.
What platform can you
or
get
$1?
It was 101 for a stick figure.
Yeah. So Mickey's going to be a rich man in 10 years. What platform for the NFTs?
Yeah.
There's multiple.
Multiple?
That's
okay.
why Mickey said in regards to my wedding, let me see what you loaded up to.
Got you. Is there like, what's the top 3 right now that you would go with?
I noticed Zora is the one that the Linkin Park MC, I think, loaded up his stuff too. All his whole shit is on Zora.
Gotcha.
But what are the other ones, Mike?
I don't know. I just checked that one where I was trying to buy that
Top
one.
Shot?
No. Oh, NBA Top Shot's one. And then the other one
so
was...
it's basically what you're looking to get into, regardless if it's like music, basketball, sports.
Yeah, and then there's like a number of platforms in that category, in each category. You know what I mean? Got to figure out a wedding.
Just do some researching. Yeah.
Mintable.
Curious what our wedding gifts are going to be.
Yeah. All right. We're out of here.
Peace.